Hello, Noreen.
Hi,
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Another good and great session of Clarusway here today. And hello, dear guests. Welcome to another CMS session, Clarusway session. So this is going to be a LinkedIn profile optimization session for today. I am Tiger. I'm a CMS Career Management Service Instructor here in Clarusway. And today we are happy to meet you again with another interesting subject. It is crafting an engaging LinkedIn profile. And we have Noreen here as our followers. We remember she's our technical recruiter, talent, development consultant, personal branding coach, expert for more than 25 years in placement. And yeah, welcome again, Noreen. Did I miss anything technically?
Thanks, Tiger. No, I love all things job search and recruiting, and I love helping people to find their dream job. So that's why I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I hope you're good as well. I know you're one of the busiest moms as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. I have three kids, and two of them are going to bed any minute.
Okay, that's good. That's great. So, dear guests, our today's subject is again crafting an engaging, LinkedIn profile. So, we will talk about the tips and tricks for maximum visibility in the social media platform of the business world. LinkedIn is the world's largest professional, 2003. So you can use LinkedIn to find the right job or internship, connect and strengthen your professional relationships, and learn the skills you need to succeed in your career. So you can access LinkedIn from a desktop, from a mobile app, or a mobile web experience. Noreen, LinkedIn now has more than 900 million members with over 58, million registered companies. And the first question, who should be joining LinkedIn?
Everyone.
That's a good
So,
question, answer. Okay.
so LinkedIn is has been owned actually by Microsoft since 2016, end of 2016, and the platform is pretty much serves professionals and it's a networking website. So the way that job search has um, evolved with all the changing technology is that we all now as individuals have a lot more access to share our uniqueness and to share our strengths and our expertise, and that's what LinkedIn's all about. That's why it's so important, especially if you're going into a job search.
Okay, great. Thank you. LinkedIn is described as professional Facebook, where instead of, sharing vacation photos and, cat videos, users share their career accomplishments, industry insights, and professional goals. So, the second question, is there a LinkedIn customer support phone number, Marie?
Ha, no, I don't believe that there is. There may be one hidden somewhere, but there's a lot of experts on LinkedIn, and so you can always tap into them and ask them any questions that you might have.
Yeah, so it's important in line her aspects as an expert for years with theory, let's say. So LinkedIn was framed as a digital business card that provides a snapshot of who you are professionally, including your work experience, skills, education, and professional interests. How can we, Noreen, at IT school, as IT school graduates, use LinkedIn in this context?
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's even better than a business card. You can showcase your unique talents. So LinkedIn has a lot of different features, which we'll get into as we continue through this discussion. But basically, it's your online profile. So you can tell them about your background. You can talk about your skills and your expertise and your experience and your education. And as you grow in your career, you can continuously update it. So it's a whole image showing the path of your career journey. And every time that you have an accomplishment or launch a new product, you can share that on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn's new algorithm in 2024 is very much emphasizing that. They're really focused on helping people to share their unique expertise, and then helping those who are looking for those unique expertise to see those people who are sharing what they're looking for.
Great. So another definition for LinkedIn is job seekers paradise, where users, can search for job openings, research companies, and connect with recruiters and hiring managers to explore, career opportunities. So although the US has the most LinkedIn users at 220 million, over 75 of the LinkedIn users are from outside of the United States. So when using LinkedIn, what should we pay attention to?
Okay, so you should think of yourself when you're on LinkedIn as a product or a service. Everybody offers a unique value, and this is where you get to showcase it. So it's a mini website just for you, your profile. You want to make sure that it's accurate and it's up to date, and that it has details that explain what your skills are and what you can offer to your target audience. You should also check on connections. Make sure that you are connecting with people that you have in your immediate network and that you've been meeting throughout your career. And also look to connect with others who are in the same space, who would be sharing information that you'd be interested in, that you can engage with and build online relationships with. The algorithm on LinkedIn is designed to showcase a couple of things. One is when you make updates or you have posts, it will scan your post to make sure to see what you're talking about and see how authentic it is, and how and showcase your expertise, and make sure it's not too salesy. They're really looking to be a content provider of expert information. And so they're optimizing those types of posts. And you want to make sure that in doing that, of course, that you're sharing other people's posts as well. So that's another way to help you to be shown on more people's feeds, is to comment and engage and like other people's posts. It's actually, some people don't know this, but it's actually hard to be able to go viral on LinkedIn. The algorithm doesn't want you to go viral because it really wants to target the audience that you need to show your unique skills to. So it's very important to follow the guidelines of the community for LinkedIn, follow their terms, avoid spam and malicious behaviors. You want to keep track of your network, make sure that you're regularly communicating with them, make sure that you're constantly adding new people. It is like your new business card. So when people are going and networking and talking at events, they're sharing their LinkedIn profiles with each other and connecting and building initiating that online relationship for the future. And think of this, all the people that you are connecting with on there are going to be for not only your current job search or next move, but also for the future. So, as you're growing in your career and learning new things and accomplishing new things, your path is going to evolve, and these people are going to be a part of it. And so that's what's so important about using LinkedIn to create your target audience and identify those people that are really interested in what you have to say and how you add value. You can follow job opportunities, and you can update all of your resume type information. I would recommend not necessarily posting your resume directly on LinkedIn because of the confidential information that is on that. But you should, in the experience section, take exactly what you have on your resume, put the bullets in the same. So because people are using LinkedIn to find you, and they do that through keyword searches.
Okay, it's important. We're going to have an, LinkedIn account, but we don't want that be an ordinary one. So that's why we are looking for an engaging LinkedIn profile. So what should we understand from this phrase? What is an engaging LinkedIn profile?
So being authentic and unique and really showcasing how you stand out is what engages people in using the LinkedIn profile. Rather than being packaged and specifically professional, obviously you want to communicate your knowledge in a fun and exciting way, but you definitely want to think about yourself as a service. So you want to have a professional headline that communicates your expertise, your value proposition, talks about you want to talk about in your summary, your story and how you've gotten to where you are. You want to have a professional photo, and you can change and update the banner behind your head on LinkedIn to make it really mirror what is important to you. So if you're very into technology and automating systems, then maybe you have a picture behind you on LinkedIn in the banner that shows that, so that I know why I want to talk to you from a visual perspective, in addition to keywords and the information on your profile.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, that was including the general guidelines and the details as well. And my next question is going to be, so you briefly mentioned about the headlines already. Can I ask you go in further details one by one?
Absolutely. So the headlines, as a recruiter, the headlines are very important. You can add some unique skills or things that set you apart in your headline that can help, but it also is a really good idea to make sure that people understand what you do from your title. Okay, so if you're a salesperson, you can call yourself a salesperson. If you're a DevOps professional or a cybersecurity, you can say that, but also list some of the additional skills and expertise that you have. When I do a search on LinkedIn to find people for companies that I work with, I'm always I'm doing keyword searches, but then I get a list of people, and that list of people really only shows me those headlines. So if I'm looking for a software engineer and all of a sudden the headline says, I love cooking, I'm probably not going to try to reach out to you, because you're going to make it hard for me. I'd have to go another step to go into your profile and really do some research, which is more time consuming. And it's easier to just skip you and go to the people that are showing that they're a software engineer versus maybe their personal interests. So that's a really important thing to think about. What your headline is doing, and what it's doing is it's popping up in searches. So you'll see, if you're looking for people out on LinkedIn, that you'll see their headline and maybe their most recent job title. But it's important to pay attention and think about also the different jobs that you've had. Maybe sometimes at companies, they give you a title that is unique and is not necessarily the same across the industry. So if you need to, then clarify it and describe what that title means in transferable language, so that other people, when they're looking at your profile, can understand what you can do.
Yeah, there's a quick question here. So Francis is asking, can one have multiple headlines in one profile?
There's one headline space. You can write and it will go on to like a second line, but it's not a lot of space. And ideally, you would want to have one headline and then maybe some, like a sub headline that is a little bit more descriptive of the title or the information that you put up there. I also definitely recommend not saying, like, if you're learning a new skill, don't put out there aspiring software engineer or aspiring DevOps and engineer, because they are because people are looking for a DevOps engineer or a software engineer. They are not looking for aspiring people, even though that's really cool. And I'm proud of you that you're going and learning more. You want to really package yourself. So you want to have a professional headline that uses clear and descriptive language and summarizes your expertise and the value that you offer. You want to have your professional photo, and you want to have your summary. Your summary is going to be your story, okay? This is who I am, this is what I've done, and this is how I can add value or how I can help you. All right. And that's where it's right at the top, right under your headline and your picture. And that's the first thing that anybody sees on your profile. And it's also the most personal and unique place besides your content that maybe you post or your other posts. So you definitely want to put the bullets from your resume. Make sure that you describe in your experience what you've done. A lot of people leave it blank. They feel like it's too hard to update or it's not necessary. But as a recruiter, I'm doing keyword searches, and keyword searches are looking for as many words as possible that are aligning what I'm looking for with what your profile is. So make sure to have it, and don't just put skills. As much as that is also helpful, you want to describe what you've done so that I know that you're a person and that you have accomplished things. And one of the ways you can do that is the STAR method, which is really outlining the process of what you've done in each role. So we can talk about that later, but STAR is, it's the situation, task, action, and results. And so if you can format your experience for your roles in that way, it can be helpful and really point out and highlight to people what you've done and how what you've accomplished. Also, education is really important, and certification. So in this exciting world of technology and online digital programs, we can get access to a lot more education than when we were able to at other points in time. So definitely share your knowledge, share the schools you went to, the types of what you've majored in, your certifications. That all shows that you are bettering yourself in specific ways, and it also helps people to see what you're interested in. And so when you're building your target audience, what we'll get to, they'll understand, they'll see how you've been progressing and how you've been learning and growing in your career through your posts and your education and certifications on a continuous basis. Also, there's recommendations. I definitely recommend writing recommendations for people if you have if you feel that they have done something excellent and you want to commend them for their skills. And also always ask people that you've worked with to recommend you if they feel that they have positive things to say. That can always be helpful. It's nice to have quotes or comments from people that you've interacted with, and it shows that your skills are appreciated by others. You can also share links in the media and publications. You can write articles and do presentations or share projects. So again, this is your portfolio. This is your online presence. And yes, I know there's a lot of other places that you can focus, but on LinkedIn, it's really about the professional. People go to LinkedIn to meet other professionals that they have similarities with or they want to learn from. And so here is where you really want to position yourself as an expert in the areas that you're interested in and that you've been working in. And another way to do that is engagement. So really reviewing some of the feeds or the posts that come through on your feed, and encouraging people through likes or thumbs ups or congratulations or celebrations or comments. And that is also another big piece of LinkedIn's algorithm, is that they encourage you to be sharing other people's content as well, and liking it and interacting with it, because engagement is one of the top parts of the algorithm that enables you to show up more often in other people's feeds when you're interacting with them and engaging with their posts. You can also customize your LinkedIn profile URL. So, and that, it's a good idea to do it. It makes it easier. Then you have a link that you can share with people that doesn't have a whole bunch of gobbledygook at the end. It says, it'll say just your name, or whatever the name of your company or whatever you want to post as a part of your custom LinkedIn URL. And regular engagement. So it is not important. You don't have to post 5 times a day. They want you to post regularly. So if you post once a week, then be consistent with posting once a week. If you want to post once a day, be consistent with that. The more consistent you are, the better optimized your profile will be by the algorithm on LinkedIn.
Okay, great, Noreen. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, we have 2 more questions. Francis is asking, transitioning from your area of expertise to a new area, can you put both in order to keep yourself open opportunities from both sides? Both, jobs, I mean. So you're just blowing out, you're a truck driver and DevOps engineer. So can you use both titles to look for a job in headlines?
Yes, actually, you can. So, I that's an interesting example, but it's a good one. I think that I would encourage people to. This is the place where you can hold yourself as a whole, complete person. Okay, so don't hold yourself out as separate as a truck driver and a DevOps engineer. Try to be a DevOps engineer with 10 plus years combined experience in transportation industry and DevOps engineering. Okay, combined the experience in a transferable skill way. So you can show your expertise with your past experience, and then you've added new knowledge to it. That way you stand out more, and people can see that you have unique expertise and skills and knowledge that others don't. Because if they're in the transportation industry and you're targeting them as a DevOps engineer, you're going to stand out better than every other brand new DevOps engineer who just graduated from boot camp and doesn't have a transportation knowledge. So it is a good thing to own it, but I would try to see the connections between what you like about your past history and your past experience, and how that now flows into the new knowledge you've learned. Potentially you have had used similar skills. Maybe you needed to in DevOps, you can do a lot of automation. In the transportation industry, you're trying to figure out routes and how things connect and what roads potentially. So, is that something that you're just naturally good at, seeing those connections and how those roads get you to where you need to be faster? And how can you share that relates to the new field that you're transitioning into? That's very important, and it sets you apart. So don't hide it and act like you don't have any experience. All experience is excellent experience, and you can take forward into your next role everything that you've learned in your past that you want to.
Okay, thank you. I feel so satisfied with your response. So more than any other webinar I have attended. Thank you, Noreen. Thank you, Tiger, coming from Francis. And
Oh, thank
yeah,
you.
Kasım has another question. Kasım is asking, does CV important for sharing at LinkedIn? Is
So
CV important? Yeah.
the resume, yeah, so it's the same. As far as I'm concerned, this is your virtual CV, your virtual resume, okay? You should have your LinkedIn profile mirror that. And also, your LinkedIn profile evolves and can keep data from your whole career. So the cool thing about it is if you set it up right now and you optimize it for where you're at and what you're doing and what you're looking to do next, then as you add accomplishments and complete projects and write articles and participate in different industry events, all of those things are going to stay on your profile and they're going to evolve. So you will have a picture of your career as you've grown. And um, and so I do think, yes, you want to put your CV on there, but I would not post it as its own document necessarily on there because of your contact information being on it, but also because it should be the same thing as your LinkedIn. But you should already have that experience in your experience section on your LinkedIn, and the education would be in the education section. If there's a summary on your resume, you have the about is going to be your summary.
Okay. Noreen, LinkedIn drives 46% of social, traffic to business sites and considered the most credible source of content. So it's no surprise that 98% of content makers, they use LinkedIn for content marketing, especially for B2B marketing and lead generation. So can you also give us some facts, numbers for racking up, points for recruitment?
Sure. So there's more than 58 million companies listed on the site, and there's 52 million people searching for jobs on LinkedIn every week. It's not a surprise to find out that 77% of recruiters regularly use LinkedIn. Like I said, I live on LinkedIn. I've lived on LinkedIn since I started in recruitment, and it's the place I go to find top talent. And one of the big important areas that you want to pay attention to is the keywords that you're using, the descriptions of what you've done, and also making sure that you're connected to the right people in your network so that the right people are seeing your profile. So it's a great tool because resumes, you're literally going out to companies and you're having to submit the resume, but on LinkedIn, you can be you and share your expertise and your knowledge, and people can find you as long as you're describing what you're offering on a regular basis.
Okay, thanks, Noreen. Those are interesting numbers and facts. So I don't want to miss anything, any point. Content creation grabbed my attention. Do you have any interesting numbers for this as well?
For content creation,
Yep. So how does it improve your post, your visibility in LinkedIn?
there are so content creation is I'm sorry, let me back up a second because I was I had some other facts that I wanted to talk about. There are actually every second 8 people are hired. At LinkedIn, job applications are submitted through LinkedIn every second, and 8 people are hired every single minute. So LinkedIn saw that there was a 6 times increase in the number of remote jobs posted in the US between March and December of 2020, with over 300,000 remote positions. And recruiters, the employees sourced through the site were 40% less likely to leave a company in the first 6 months. So the content creation grabs attention, and supporting the idea with images or videos to improve your post and your popularity is it increases the comment rate by 98%. So we see that the visual content strategy is very important. It's actually going up from a video perspective. So there's a lot more video content, and a lot more of the senior leaders are saying that they would prefer to be looking at video content than any other content. If you look at LinkedIn's top 10 voices of 2020 in the marketing and advertising category, you'll see that that even Mark Zuckerberg proclaimed video as the next mega trend, with platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, and Snapchat. But LinkedIn was a little bit behind that and is now really catching up. And so the content is something that is being shared related to expertise on LinkedIn, more so than just trying to be funny, catchy little skits.
Okay, so we have some questions coming. So Cecilia is asking, I resigned from job in January to attend coding bootcamp that is full-time. Is there a way to show that I'm no longer with that job because currently it shows me still employed there?
Yes, you can update your profile with an end date for that experience, and it will then show that you are no longer at that company. And then, you can put in new experience when you're ready to showcase your new experience.
Okay, Chris is asking, my LinkedIn profile is fairly active. I post once a week and the engagement levels are decent. So however, I primarily receive messages from people interested in certified programs rather than recruiters. Is there a strategy that I could use to increase contact from recruiters?
People are reaching out because of about education programs rather than recruiters. Is that what the question was?
Rather than, yeah, people interested in certified programs rather than recruiters. Yeah, they are just trying to sell, courses and, classes and everything. Is there a strategy that I could use to increase contact from recruiters? So he just wants to contact directly recruiters instead of, those sellers, let's say, outside in the field.
Yeah, so there's a lot of marketers on LinkedIn, a lot of people trying to sell their products. You can So that's spammy. That doesn't really align with LinkedIn's values. It's also very annoying. I don't know about you, but when I get a bunch of people trying to sell me stuff all the time, it's frustrating. So what I would say to that is that you should use LinkedIn to help you target companies that you're interested in, that you think that you would really like to work at, and then also to find people from those companies that are in the similar have similar interests to you. So if you're in cybersecurity and you think that you want to get a cybersecurity job at a specific company, what you would do is you would do a search for people within that company in cybersecurity and try to connect with those people and follow those people and interact with those posts. And that will help you to through the engagement, it will help you to get noticed. You can connect with recruiters. You can reach out to recruiters. You could go to post on the company's website and interact with those posts and say things that show that you can add value through the interaction on those posts. And recruiters are out there paying attention and looking for you. So the more that you are participating, the more likely you are to show up in search results when a recruiter is looking for you. But you can definitely target the recruiters. I would say that you really want to focus on the relationship building. So when you're building your network on LinkedIn, you're asking people to join your network because they have similarities to you. So if you are in transportation and a DevOps, you are now looking to connect with people in transportation that are in DevOps. You're building your network of those people, and that shows commonality. You are being curious because you want to learn about what DevOps people are doing in transportation, because you have both knowledge of transportation and DevOps, but maybe haven't done both at the same time. So you can reach out to people and just be curious and ask for conversations to learn more. And that's a really good way. People love to talk about themselves. So if you're not asking for anything and saying, I want a job and will you hire me, but more like, I'm really curious and I'm really interested and I'd love to learn more about the problems you're solving, that can help you build some relationships that can be really valuable on LinkedIn.
Hey, thank you, Noreen. Mudia has another question. What is your advice for writing blogs and posting on LinkedIn for being able to increase visibility? Are there types of posts that you advise for students or people looking for specific roles to create?
Yes. So think about yourself as an expert, okay? You don't have to be selling yourself. What you want to do is showcase your skills. If you're working on a project in a boot camp and it's on a particular topic and you're learning a new skill, then maybe do an article on and teach people how to use the skill, or do an article on the project and talk about the problems you had and how you solved them. Showcasing what you've learned and what you're doing will help you to get noticed. And again, also connecting with people that are in that target audience. One thing we didn't talk about was groups on LinkedIn. And groups are really important. You can join up to 50 groups on LinkedIn, and I definitely encourage that you do that. You can go out and look. You can look for transportation and DevOps and see if there's groups that pop up that have both of those in common and try to join those groups. That will be a whole target market for you, a whole group of people that have similar interests to you that will be talking about things that you would be potentially interested in and curious about that you can engage with. And then also you can, when you share your content, you can actually also post it in those groups and people can engage with you in those ways. There's also so there's certain content that does really well. So in addition to being an expert, which is one of their top algorithm requirements, you can do things like post a poll, like an engaging poll, maybe that answers a question that you're really curious about. And then you can then write an article about what you learned and post that to follow up. Also, showing yourself as an expert using data, insights, and specific numbers can really position you as being knowledgeable in the space that you're targeting. And that can be really helpful and gets a lot of engagement. They also is a lot of engagement on people sharing their certifications and continuous learning. There's a lot of people encouraging individual and personal growth and professional growth out there. And that's a big hit as well.
Okay, I'll get one other question. Özge is asking, what is the best AI tool or Chrome extension to use during the application? What would you recommend for someone doing constant applications?
Okay. Good question. So if you're saying an AI tool to help optimize your keywords versus a job description, I would say, pretty much any of the AI tools out there will work for that. There's some specific AI tools related to resume optimization. What you really want to be doing is making sure that your resume is using similar words to describe your expertise and your skills and what you've done to what the job description is asking. Okay, so if you are doing a lot of applications, which I know a lot of people are when they're looking for jobs, I would say that it's really important before you even start the job search to define your value add, what your market is that you're looking, where you could add the most value, where you can leverage your past experience and your new skills and really make an impact. Figure out that industry, those types of companies. If you're not sure, management consulting could be an interesting area because it can get you involved in learning a couple of different industries potentially. but you want to follow your interest and really zero in so you can do a strategic job search. That way you can optimize your resume for the types of companies and types of jobs that you're actually that you're most interested in, and then run those AI tools to just double check that the keywords are there. But don't let it just write your resume, because you want to stand out as an individual, and you are a person, okay? And it's not some people are looking at AI as at being bad if they have a resume that's written by AI. I wouldn't personally exclude somebody from submitting an AI resume, but I would be I have talked to people who have submitted AI resumes and literally asked them about something that's on their resume, and they have looked at me with a blank stare and said, I haven't done that. So don't do that. That's not a good idea.
Okay. Thank you, Noreen. Yeah, we have a reminder from webinar chat channel, if you can read it. So we have the services that is provided by the CMS Career Management Service. So if you need to make an appointment, you can use the link to get an appointment from this link. Just a reminder for you guys. Okay, Noreen, we did not talk about the number of connections. How does it matter? What's a good number of LinkedIn connections, and how many should you have? The sender, answer, sometimes it's like it depends, but for most of the job seekers, I think the answer is a lot, right?
Yeah, so actually, um, you know, it used to be at least 500 would kick you into the algorithm where you'd actually start showing up in other people's feeds. So 500 connections was the minimum. Um, I believe now it's closer to 1,000 that's making you show up in those feeds. But they don't only count the connections. They're really looking at your engagement and your posts and how often you're on there and participating on the site. LinkedIn actually is one of the few sites that I am aware of that caps your a number of connections. So when you hit 30,000 connections, you're no longer allowed to connect with anybody. So they really want you to focus on building a network of people that make sense, that are in the industry you're in, that are in your target market. And if you get too many people, then they will stop you from continuing to connect, and you'll have to go through and eliminate people. So I know as new job seekers potentially just getting on LinkedIn, that's probably not your challenge, but I'm a big list worker. Okay. So it is my opinion that you can build a really solid target audience on LinkedIn by truly identifying where you can add value and what companies are in that target market, and looking at the groups and really leveraging the access to all these professionals that are out there, and looking to connect with those people that make sense for you to be interacting with. And if you do that, you will grow a strong target audience. And if you can get that to at least 500 people, that will help you as you progress and you use it to market yourself. You'll grow in connections because you will be you have similarities with those other people on LinkedIn, and they will want to engage with you. So the engagement is important too. Don't just connect with anybody random.
Thank you, Noreen. So we have two more questions coming up. Sam is asking, does showcasing your skills on LinkedIn is a good way to show potential employers that you can do the job?
Yes. Yeah, showcasing your skills. So if you did a project and you have a write-up on the project, share it in your featured section, share it in an article. If just got an award for being an amazing employee, for a particular, for top sales or for developing a new product, then share that on LinkedIn. Yes, it's a very good way because people will be finding you there. And once they find you and understand that you're open to having conversations and learning more, they'll be looking at the rest of your profile to see how you stand out versus other people that they've found.
Yeah, Chris has a second question. Is it challenging to find an entry-level job on LinkedIn where you're at the beginning of your career, considering the importance of skill level and experience?
So it's challenging to find entry-level roles in general, okay? A lot of entry-level roles are not even posted. So I wouldn't shy away from applying to jobs that might be a little bit more than entry level if you feel like you can do the job and you have the skills. I would say that it's more important to really zero in on those things that you do well, that you've done in the past, and then adding the new skills that you're learning and identifying what types of roles are really looking for that and then positioning yourself applying for those roles. So I just had a conversation today with one of my clients, and they said, I cracked the code. I figured it out. They're like, I now know how to position myself. I'm getting interviews for those jobs that I'm specifically targeting, and I'm doing well in the interviews and moving forward, right? So now all of a sudden they were applying and applying and applying to a whole bunch of different jobs that they sort of fit, and they just wanted a job and they weren't as focused. And when they took a step back and said, you know what, I'm a really expert in financial services and in data analysis, and these types of roles, these portfolio risk analytics roles are really a sweet spot for me because I can check all the different boxes that are required for those roles. He started targeting those, and now he's got a whole bunch of interviews and the conversations are going really well. So you don't have to apply to everything or be the right fit for everything. You just need one that is the perfect fit for you.
Okay, another question from Sam. Is there a way to scrub junk job offers, pyramid, multi-marketing, etc.?
To avoid the junk offers?
Yeah, junk job offer, to scrub them, to avoid them, yeah.
I don't know. I think you're just gonna, I think that those roles are usually pretty vague. They don't really give a lot of information, and you typically can tell that they're not real jobs because of that. If it seems like something's off, I say follow your gut as it relates to that. I'm sure that as technology progresses, there will be new tools put into place to validate companies and positions. But right now, just don't give your info. Nobody should be asking for any information from you besides your name, address, and phone number. Like, you shouldn't be giving that to anybody else. And and if you feel like you're uncomfortable doing that with a particular company, don't do it.
Okay, thank you, Noreen. So, yeah, we had a lot of questions and we had a lot of nice answers, and we had good comments about the answers as well. So we were talking about connections on LinkedIn. How to get a lot of connections on LinkedIn? How we are going to do that?
How to get connections on LinkedIn.
Yep.
So there's a couple of ways. So if you start with companies, okay, so if you go back to I'm in transportation and I'm in DevOps, and you say that's what I'm targeting, then you would do a search for companies. I like to go on Google, but search for companies that are in transportation. And you can get a list of transportation companies. Then you could do a search transportation companies and DevOps and see if you could get a list of companies that have DevOps and transportation, or maybe management consulting firms that are focused on transportation industry. And then So when you get your list of companies, you can go into LinkedIn and you can look at their employee link and click on their employees and then do a filter search for the types of people you want to connect with. So if you're in DevOps or if you're in cyber or data, you would go into the title and put in cybersecurity or cybersecurity analyst. And then you'll see all the people that have similar titles to what you're looking for that company. Ideally, you want to connect with those people that are more senior than you, because the more senior people are the ones that have the ability to make the hiring decisions. And although most people would think that you would reach out to recruiters because they're the ones that's their job, they're actually not the best way to get a job. The best way to get a job is to reach out to the highest level person who is actually the person you would be reporting to, because they're the ones that really need to fill the role. And if they see value in your profile because they'll understand your profile the best, then they'll tell the recruiter that they want to put you in the process, and then you'll have more direct access. So building your connections, that's one way to do it, is really to target, again, that target market, find those companies in it, understand the roles you're looking for, and try to find people at your level or above. You want to connect with them and say, I'm looking to build my network of people that are in DevOps and transportation. Would you connect? It's a high level connection request, but you're not really, it's hard to say no to, because you're not really asking for much. You're just trying to say, we have commonalities. I'm interested in the same things you're interested in. Will you be a part of my network? Be a part of my target audience. And then once you get that connection, you can ask for a conversation. Maybe you just want to talk to everybody that's a part of your network and you want to make them a real connection in your professional world. So you could start asking them for those types of conversations and building those relationships. But that is one way to do it. Also, the easy way is just add all of your emails to LinkedIn and connect with all of your existing connections that you have in your email account. You can go and search through, you can look for people at, prior schools or universities that you've gone to and connect with people that have similar degrees or alumni of similar schools. Anything that's common is helpful for connection, and making that connection to the commonality when reaching out to people can help you with building your connections. Don't think about it like you're selling yourself or you're doing this task that you don't like. Think about this is your place to be you and to share your interest, your experience, your value, your knowledge, and to interact with other people that are interested in the same thing as you.
Okay, another question from Kasim, about the premium service of LinkedIn. So is it important, he says. Kasim, LinkedIn offers a free basic membership to anyone who wants to create and maintain professional profile online. So if you upgrade to a premium, you'll gain further access to LinkedIn products and features. The paid subscriptions, they include marketing, recruitment, sales, and learning products. So those are the basics. Do you have any adapts, Noreen?
Yeah, so there's been some changes as it relates to all of that as well. LinkedIn is constantly making updates. The premium is now enabling you to get bigger lists of people to be able to connect with and put you in front of a bigger network. So especially when you're building your network, premium could be helpful. The messaging is, you only get, I think, 5 LinkedIn messages or in-mails. And so that can be frustrating, because if that's the only reason that you're doing it, you're going to be annoyed. So I would say, again, back to keep it simple. find that what you're targeting, the companies that you're targeting, and the people that you have commonality with, and just try to connect and join with them. But the premium can be useful now. I think you can always try it and see what you think. If you feel like you're running into an issue with being able to connect with people because they're like a third connection, one of the tricks to that, if you find a person you want to connect with and they're a third connection and they're not able to, you can't get to them, you can't message them, look at what groups they're in. Maybe they're in groups that you would also be interested in and try to join those groups. Once you join a group, you are able to message people without having an email. So that's another reason why leveraging your target audience it can be helpful.
Okay, thank you. Another quick answer to a question. What kind of services provided by Clarusway by means of LinkedIn prep or optimization? So each student was assigned a CMS instructor as a life coach from the enrollment till landing a job. He or she will be your number one POC for LinkedIn as well as resume interview and other CMS issues. So you will be given 2 CMS live LinkedIn sessions recorded in cloud for future use and references. And there'll be those country meetings, teamwork, job fairs, info sessions, experience sharing sessions, and recruiter sessions as well. And you can use from the Slack channels 24/7. So they have the opportunity to work on LinkedIn profile. In common folder, there is a cheat sheet that guides you with pictures and explanations and everything. And just one note here, each Clarusway graduate student has professional LinkedIn profile when he graduates, all-star profile, we call it, with more than 500 connection. Okay. So, Noreen, we are coming to the end, so there's no any other question. There is one that I would like to ask you. I have an old LinkedIn profile. Should I open up a new one or go on with the old account?
I guess I would say make sure that if it's a custom link, that the custom link makes sense. Like if you had a past company and it was some funny name and it was, when you were goofing off when you were younger or something, you might want to have a different account. Also make sure that it's connected to your professional email so that you can get messages. But I think that you can leverage what you've already got out there. You can change everything that's out there. Um, so you could go back out and just revamp it. And like I said, I really encourage you to leverage your past experience and to pull out those transferable skills from those past experiences that you want to bring forward into your new roles. So your LinkedIn is ever evolving and there's no real reason to get rid of the past history as you grow your profile unless it no longer applies at all.
Okay, thank you, Noreen. So we have a couple minutes. I just want to wrap up, some issues. For example, you said that when we are talking about an engaging, LinkedIn profile, that should be authentic, that should be unique. So not being packaged. So that was important. And in the summary section, your story should be there. So you should tell who you are, what you're doing, and what kind of value you're going to be adding to the company that you are applying for. And content sharing doesn't mean that, selling yourself, but explaining a project that you have made and explaining the problem or talking about the problems you encountered and also explaining how you solved those problems. Okay. And the last thing, don't let AI write all of your resume because it doesn't then unique or your own resume. So it should reflect something from yourself. Okay, last minute and last couple of words. Noreen, you have the stage.
Oh, thank you. So I would say that your LinkedIn profile is the new way of job search. It's the new way people are going to find you for future jobs. It is your online presence. And you want to be comfortable with sharing who you are as a professional, what your experiences, your learnings are, your knowledge, your expertise and skills. You want to have some personality in your summary so that I understand what I'm receiving from you. Every person offers services, okay? So I would look at you like you are an independent consultant offering these unique services to a specific target audience. So if you really get clear on that up front, then you don't have to feel like you're an imposter, because you'll be thinking about like all the things you've already done and how much value you've already added. And once you get your online profile optimized for sharing that unique value that you add, you can then really start to continue your growth on there and share your new learnings and new accomplishments and new knowledge, and have fun with being you, because the more that you are sharing your knowledge and what you're excited about, the more you'll stand out on LinkedIn. That's what the algorithm is all about, is showing your unique expertise to those people that would be interested in it. So have fun with it. And I know it's scary, and I know networking is scary, and I know most people just want to take a resume and submit it, but this is a better way to do it. I always say, Tiger knows, you can't get a job by just applying, but you can get a job by having a conversation. So LinkedIn is an excellent place to meet people and have conversations and talk about things that you're curious and excited about.
Okay, thank you, Noreen, and participants. Thank you, everybody. So that was another unique session, Noreen. Yeah, I can tell from the comments that the participants also enjoyed as well. And thank you. And so I'll see you in the next events, Clarusway events here and there. And participants, thank you as well. So you guys have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thank you.